In this video, we are going to explore the best places for active seniors and even early retirees to move to when considering the Portland and Vancouver greater areas. So kick off your white loafers and sit back, and we're going to get after it. What's up, everybody? This is Joseph Nelson, and this is my YouTube channel, Next Home Network PDF. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to know everything about living, eating, sleeping, playing, and all the varied lifestyles that are available to you in the Portland, Vancouver area, make sure you tap the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you will be reminded every time I make a new video. I get so many people calling who are relocating to the area, and I absolutely love it. If you are thinking about moving or relocating to the area, or just need some help to decide where to live, make sure you call me, or text me, or email me, or even send me that carrier pigeon. However you want to get a hold of me, just know that I have your back when moving to the Portland and Vancouver greater areas. In this season of early retirement, we want shopping to be quick and easy, as we have activities that we are passionate about and want to get on those as soon as possible. Which one of these areas you locate to will be specific to your lifestyle? Golf, boating, sailing, shuffleboard, going to the beach, going skiing at the mountain. Whatever your lifestyle requires is going to depend on which area is best for you. And looking towards the future, we want areas that have a hub of necessities so that we don't have to drive very far to take care of our routine needs, our grocery shopping, our birthday shopping, Christmas shopping. We want these areas to be familiar and for you to be comfortable driving to. Like my mom, even in her early 80s, fortunately is still healthy and active for her age, and she doesn't mind going shopping as long as she's familiar with where she's going. What makes senior communities great? Number one, access to shopping. We want sustainable and predictable costs. These include your home, the grounds, the property taxes, etc. We want good access to health care, hospitals, clinics. We want room to have our families visit. We want others in our community in a similar place in life. We want bus service available so that if we get to a point where we can't drive, that we still have some mobility. We want delivery services available. We want to be able to have Amazon come to the house and even have groceries delivered to the house. We want to live in a lower elevation that's not plagued by snow and ice. We want roads that are fairly level, not hilly areas, and we still want access to our lifestyle choices. And this is personal choice. Do you want all walk-to convenience from your home? That requires very specific neighborhoods. Or do you want to live in a residential area where you actually have to drive a short distance for all of your conveniences? Let's cover what this video is not about. It is not about senior care facilities. This is about owning your own home or condo without the access to immediate in-home care as a part of the community. Now, there's always in-home care available from private agencies that will come to your home. We'll talk about that later. But this is not about senior care facilities, whether you own your unit or not. This is not about manufactured home parks. From an investment standpoint, I believe that they're not a wise choice. They may be the least expensive option you have, but they're just not in my wheelhouse. So here is the rating criteria that I'm using on each one of the following communities. Affordability. How affordable is the community in general? How safe is the area? The quality of schools in the area, even though this is probably not your primary criteria when looking for a retirement home. Like me, we never know when a daughter's going to move in and bring grandkids, which require going to school. And so it would be nice to know that we have the option of being in a area that has good schools. And good schools also tend to bring stability to prices. We're going to rate the communities for their walking access. And I'll tell you up front, the absolute best place to live if you want close, immediate access to be able to walk from your place of residence to services is downtown Portland and the Pearl District. These areas offer by far the absolute best variety of shopping, restaurants, necessary services like banks, investment brokers. These are all available within a short walk. But there are some other options, and we'll talk about those. How long does it take to drive to the drive type access of shopping? And we want to do this without having to get on the freeway. We want these to be local community roads and drives. How significant is the traffic level? Is it congested or is it an easy drive? Okay, next, I'm going to say I'm not a huge advocate of condo living. The HOA average is about $500. If you're going to live in the Pearl District of Portland, they go up easily over $1,000 a month. Now, these give you some really nice services, concierge, all kinds of things like a gym in the building. You really don't need to leave your building for a workout. If you have packages delivered, they're taken to the concierge and they're put into a nice private area where you can pick them up later. So there's things about living in a condo in the Pearl that are specific to lifestyle. But as a whole, I am not a fan of condos because these HOA fees never go away. Whether they're $300 a month or $1,500 a month, they never go away. So again, the exceptions to condo living that I support are if living in a place where you can walk to services and businesses is really high on your priority list and fits your lifestyle. If you want waterfront living, you don't want to spend $2 million on a home on the waterfront, condo living can be a great option. So let's talk about downtown Portland from really in Southwest under the tram that goes up to OHSU down into Northwest Portland and the Pearl. There are micro breweries that are located within walking distance of many of the condo buildings. There's also banks, restaurants, walking paths along the Willamette River, places near some of the downtown condos to moor your boat. There are parks, these are more urban parks with a lot of concrete and amphitheater feel, places with grass to walk your dogs. So this is your lifestyle, an urban lifestyle where you really never leave the area that you don't walk in. But I can tell you that on average you get one parking spot in a garage with a condo in this area. If you want a second parking spot, some have them available, but they're at an additional cost. Many people here don't own a car at all. There is great bike commuting, and there's even bikes on the street that you can ride to where you want to go, and you basically just borrow and then grab another one and bike back to your condo. So this is specific to a urban lifestyle, but I want to caution you that I don't normally talk about politics, but I also do not allow for buyer's remorse. And so I want you to know the kind of community that you're thinking about moving to if you're going to move to the Pearl or other downtown Portland condo unit. This is the center of Portland liberalism. If you are a conservative, you will run into some, but by large, you're going to be dominated by liberal politics and lifestyles. So this is fair warning if this is not your cup of tea. I personally live in a similarly liberal community in a floating home, but the floating home fits my lifestyle so perfectly that I'm willing to kind of filter out and, if nothing else, ignore what goes on around me. So this is a personal decision. Also be aware that parking for family members to come visit you at times can be really difficult to find. You may have to pay to park in a building. I have a friend whose dad moved down to the Pearl, And he said, Dad, I don't know how often I'm going to come visit you because I've got to walk 5, 6, 8 blocks just to get to your house from where I can park. So that's consideration. If you like large family gatherings, this may be problematic. Condo values here are really based on a combination of factors. Square footage of your condo unit, the amenities that are available in the building, and they do vary. Some have concierge services, others don't. Some have gym facilities and others don't. Some have additional storage that is deeded to the unit in the garage. But something they all have in common is there are units on 4 sides of the condos. And there are units available from ground floor to around 17 floors, depending on the building. Typically, units that are higher in the building than the ground floor, for instance, command more money because the views are better. And typically, the units that face the river have a higher value as well because there's only one side that faces the river. Now, the 2 other sides may have views from your balcony, but they don't dominate what you look at from your windows inside the condo unit. So condos that face the river and are high up in the condo buildings, such as the 14th floor, the 15th floor, command the most money, and these you could expect to pay around a 30% premium. Ground level units can be quite affordable. You'll probably find that you don't raise your blinds a whole lot because there's passers-by that could look right in your window, whereas the higher you are in the condo unit, you can typically leave your windows open and just enjoy the view without people looking in your windows, unless they have a telescope from the other building. The upper level units provide great privacy, and many of these have electric blinds that, with the push of one light switch, all of the window coverings in the unit raise up or down. In the morning, if it's not real bright out, you can raise them up with a flick of a switch, and when the sun comes out and is blinding, you can put them down. The downtown condo market right now is soft. Prices have come down, inventory is up, and market time is up. So really some good values can be had in downtown Portland as compared to prior to COVID, which brought a lot of protests and even riots to downtown Portland. And some of these did spill over into the condo neighborhoods. And it's anybody's guess when this is going to go away, but I really feel that at some point it will, and that there's some great values to be had right now. Because of the inventory so high, prices are down, people have had their condos on the market for multiple times longer than folks with their homes on the market with single-family homes. So that's my quick take on downtown Portland. Next, I'm going to talk about a community called Orenco Station. This is in the Hillsborough area. It's a community that features storefronts on the bottom floor and condo units on the upper floor. These are typically one-story commercial downstairs and one-story residential upstairs. This offers awesome walking to local restaurants and shops, and there's also stopping right there at Orenco Station. Probably one reason it's called Orenco Station is because there's a mass transit stop right there. So you could really not own a car here at all and get to anywhere in the Portland and even Vancouver area, because eventually you can transfer to a Southwest Washington bus system and get up into Vancouver. This is a new community. Hillsborough is where the county seat is and has been around for a long time, but this is in a new area. There is ample parking here on the street and in buildings. So if you're going to have family over for holidays, it is conducive to large numbers of cars coming to the area for your family gathering. In addition, on the periphery to this area is a ton more shopping. So this one could cross over into the drive-to category for shopping. If you didn't want to walk, you're 5 minutes from just some awesome shopping centers, and there's multiple shopping centers, and they're all new. You know, I grew up on the west side of Portland and Beaverton, and the areas that we're talking about right now, they were all fields and farms when I grew up. So these areas are new. The housing available around these areas is relatively new, if not new. And if condo living's not your cup of tea, within a very short distance, and it's going to be less walkable, but I'm not going to tell you you couldn't, there are single-family homes to be had in the area, and these are very nice. This is a much safer area than downtown Portland. Next, we're going to think out of the box a little. I throw this out, and I don't have a lot of takers, but it is my lifestyle, and so I'm going to share it. Do you love the water? Do you love boating? Do you love the wildlife? Are you comfortable around the water? Because there is an option that's very affordable, and that is a floating home community. I live in the Jansen Beach Moorage, and it is walkable to the Jansen Beach Mall. It's the only floating home moorage that is walkable to stores and restaurants in the Portland area. And they go from John's Landing, McAdam, Scappoose, St. Helens, Marine Drive, Hayden Island, and Jansen Beach is part of Hayden Island. But the Jansen Beach Moorage is the only one that I consider that has a walkable feature to it. If you think this may be of interest to you, and there are some very nice homes here. It's pretty eclectic. There are some very modest homes here, to put it kindly, but there are some executive type homes here as well that are as tall as 3 stories. But what they all have in common is you park your boat or boats right on your deck, right next to your deck. And this is an awesome lifestyle. There's also a couple of walkable condo units on the Vancouver side. One is in downtown Vancouver, and this is kind of an emerging area that doesn't have a lot available right at this time, but it is growing. And so this may be an area in a year or two is just going to be fabulous. There's also a small area off Highway 14 that's right on the Columbia River. And these condos have units similar to Orenco Station, where you have retail on the bottom floor and residential on the top. But there's also some true condo 3-4 story units in the area. And they all have access to an awesome paved walking path for, I'm going to say, 2-3 miles along the Columbia River. And there's also restaurants and shops. There's a McMinimans right there. I think that one probably dominates what people would recognize. But 3 minutes away by car, or you could ride a bike, 3 minutes away by car, there's a Fred Meyer and a small shopping center. And this would take care of a large portion of your shopping and eating out needs. This is also a very safe area, and parking is quite readily available. And this area has a true resort feel to it. Hey folks, this is taking me a little longer than I thought. This video is up to 40 minutes, and that's a little longer than I like to run, so I'm going to break this into 2 pieces. So right now we are halfway through. This is the end of part 1. And come back and watch part 2 as we get into the non-walkable areas of single-family homes. And as always, I hope you are finding value in my video. Hey, thanks for hanging for the whole video. Remember, if you want to find that perfect area that you're thinking about living in, or just want to see, in order to do that, you're going to have to give me a call, or shoot me a text, send me an email, or even send me that carrier pigeon. However you want to get a hold of me, just know that I have your back when moving to the Portland, Vancouver area. And until the next video, I'll catch you later.